Alrighty guys, so we are seeing continuation of the collapse in the semiconductors, the memory stocks, Micron, Sandisk, they all are going down today, especially before the long weekend. There is most likely also portfolio profit taking happening, and but the point is that we did lose the structure, the price action yesterday for the zones that I have been telling you, and I have explained to you in my last many videos why it's important to trade with the price action and not on the hope. And if you have seen those videos, you are all aware. You can definitely check out on my channel and follow along on through all those videos. It's not something the weakness that I have been calling out just from yesterday. I have been talking about this, especially to my members, since the last week, and the money rotation and how we are placing our money in other stocks. All those details also you will find on my videos here. You can check it out on my channel. Now, the point is that what is the price action telling us, right? From here on as well, because we are not improving. Now, you can make a point that sure, the price to earning ratios, the forward looking ratios, and the price to sales ratio is just still so cheap. Their guidances have come out as if, until 2027, the run just can't stop to the upside, right? And that can all play out still, okay? But the point is that if you are managing your position, you are in the stock market to make sure that you are not putting yourselves in the harm's way. You are in the market to make your portfolio bigger, right? In terms of profit, okay, not in terms of losses, right? So, and that's where it's important that you need to identify and know what are the places to buy and what are the places to take profits. So, if fundamentally things are still great and you can go by that, which may change if things can come up, things changes. It's not that what is said yesterday will stay as it is forever. Things changes, plans change, right? But right now, and that's why it's important to trade with the price action, because it removes all those ambiguities. Okay, now, so let's start off with Micron here. But before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So definitely we are continuing in the weakness. And as I said, fundamental thesis can still hold if you think like, their guidance can't allow the price to be at this price, it has to be at 2000. Well, for that, you will still have to wait for the price action confirmation to happen. So the point is that forget about that. Look at the price action, and price action is broken. Price action is to the downside. So at this point, all right, you gotta consider, and you should be sizing down your position when we start to lose and break the structure that is $1,100 area on Micron. Now today we are seeing a continuation, as I said, to the downside, and I gave you, this was our next magnet technically, 985 area zone. Today we just tested that. Let's take a look at on the hourly interval. In the pre-market we just tested that. Now definitely it is retesting it again as well. Look, there are rebounds possibilities. It also tried to do that rebound in the pre-market, but it gave up. Okay, the whole point is that in the price action is 1100 below, we will remain still in the weakness, and we are already testing the next zone. Okay, so look at it this day. Sure, if you think, oh, I should not have taken partial profits here, see, it got bought up, because then you're trading just on the hope. You have to take partial profits here. I explained you that very scenarios in my previous videos, why so, and now you can understand why so, because, well, price action is not getting bought up here, right? For this very reason, you've got to take partial profits when the structure starts to break, right? And so at this point, yeah, we are just continuing in the downtrend here right now, at least in the near term. And as if we lose 973, eventually that will open up the doors to 865. There's a significant level right in this zone. I have just highlighted with the yellow zone. My tools marks all these levels automatically for you. If you need access to my tools, you will get 4 trading tools that will improve your trading, that will make you net profitable. Check out the details to my tools in the description of this video. Now, so definitely testing it. If a rebound has to build, it has to build here, but it will take hours for the signs to happen. But your structure on going on Micron below $1,100 will still remain in the negative side. Okay, so right now, if the strength has to build up, for that we have to first see signs to build up, which will still take the whole day pretty much. So it's not going to improve your chances, and going into the long weekend, you just don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. So position sizing down is happening. Okay, now as I said, yeah, if you lose 988 area, that zone, it opens up to 840. There I do expect a bounce will build up there, but we'll see. Right now what we are seeing is that the structure continues in the downtrend, and we gotta focus on that. Sandisk is also continuing in the negative side, and let's get to the hourly interval actually on this thing. So that very zone is still rejecting, guys. Okay, this very zone that I have provided you previously, once we started to lose it, weakness started to come back in again, and today you can see the rejection right there, and we are continuing down. We came to our yellow zone also along the ways. We did try to hold significant levels here, but third time, the more the levels will be tested over and over again, they will break, right? So this time it broke that zone, but you can also see it was already showing signs of a negative structure here, and with that rejection, this time it's supposed to break then, right? So, and we are getting to our next zone there, but it remains in the negative structure as well, Sandisk. Okay, now as if we continue to lose 1845, that will put us down to the zone of 1582. Again, long term, everything can be great. You can be super bullish, guidance can be super bullish, everything could be great, but right now the price is not telling us to buy. Price is telling us I want to go down. It can be a great buy, and when it will be a buy, I'll tell you, because it's not that I have been bearish on these chip stocks. Micron, I have been telling my members, and also in these videos, from here we have like 466, our next trade that started, bullish trade, and along the ways I have been telling you we are bullish, we are bullish, we are bullish. I only start to tell you when we start to lose the price action that now we are becoming negative and we start to go down. So I'm telling you exactly what the price action is doing, and I'm telling you that ahead of time because my tools tells me what is eventually going to happen. Now, so Sandisk, as always, well, I have been telling you that, the bullish structure, and now only when weaknesses start to come, I have been talking about the weakness. Okay, it's not that I just pull out the things out of nowhere. Okay, I trade. Okay, and I read the price action, and accordingly I tell you when the strength is there, when the weakness is there. Okay, so yeah, 1832, and we are testing that. Below that, as I said, $1,500 zone, 15,600, 1560, and so forth. After that, 1267, but I do believe we will see bounces at 1560 or so forth. But it's just that at least before the long weekend, things want to cool off. All right, let's take a look at AMD actually first. Let's wrap up the other ones. I told you this very scenario, right? Like, guys, don't get super excited right away seeing this just one candle up here. All right, if this could very likely be the liquidity grab, and where is the confirmation for that? If the follow-up candle doesn't hold $550 zone, and you can see as it start to lose, and I already told you guys that's the liquidity grab, right? And you can see a continuation to the downside. It's just that all those short sellers piling up here, their stop loss are sitting here, bam, blown up, right? And then liquidity grabbed and then continuing lower. Classic classic, right? So, and thus AMD is in the distribution phase in this zone that I have been telling you, right? And it is also coming down in the negative structure. Now your longer directional problem will only start on this thing below 485. Above that, technically it's not in a longer problem, but definitely it is in the weakness that it's not a buy here. Okay, it's also the place where you should be taking partial profits. I also told you watch this very zone. If today we are not regaining this zone, 552 area, 550 area, you know, we will continue in the weakness with this liquidity grab, right? And you can see we rejected right in that zone and continuing lower. Most likely by the end of the day, we have a room to come down to this significant level zone down there. All marked by my tools for you. All right. So let's take a look at now Nvidia. Nvidia continues in the weakness, and the level that I have given you guys, it's still doing its job. Let's get to the hourly interval. Where did we reject? Right at that level that I have been telling you that there is no further rebound as we continue to reject this significant level. And as you can see, it has been continuously rejecting this level. Today also rejection coming down to the blue zone. Again, the problem is that Nvidia still remains in the negative structure. It's not technically a buy because it can cool off more. Right now we're in the negative structure, so just let it be, right? ARM also still in the negative structure. It did bounce today first, and where did it reject, guys? Where did it reject? Again, very place of the significant level, right? Again, these levels are marked by my tools automatically for you. I just highlight with the yellow zone just so that during doing the video I can help you visualize it. And you can see that it's the same zone still rejecting, and thus price action, as I have been saying, below that will still remain in the weakness. And you can see it's still in the weakness, guys. Sellers are still in control. Look at this candle. Boom, kaboom. All right, let's get to Broadcom. Broadcom still in the weakness. Nothing has changed, guys. You can't really look any upside on this thing below 385 as we stay there, right? TSM still doing its sideways action. Is a slow mover. I really don't like to trade this thing, but it is technically overall not weak yet until 439, 438 or 440 zone. It's a, you know, give or take technically a 439 to 440 zone. Above that, technically we are fine, but with the rest not doing great, it may go laggard also. So Intel. So this was the last line of defense, 126, guys. I mentioned that if you start to lose it, you can expect a weakness right now. Unfortunately, that's what is happening. But multi-day weakness started below 132.75 cents, as I have previously mentioned. And right now, if we stay below 126, it's not going to look good, you know, on it. It has a room to then go down to the weakness of 114.15 area. So just keep that in mind. Seagate also continuing in the negative structure. This has been a leading indicator across many other memory storage stocks. This thing is still in the negative direction, since this is where it really broke it, right? It broke like last week technically, right? And thereafter, as I have been telling you guys, this is just a bounce, right? I told you all of this, and we saw a rejection at a significant level technically, and rejection and came down. And I have been telling you it's still in the weakness, and we are just continuing in the weakness, right? It's not a buy. If it has to be a buy, we have to wait. Okay, there will be times to buy these things again, but right now price action is not telling us that. When it will tell us, I'll tell you, how I have told you before as well. When they were buys, I told you to buy. When they are sell, I have told you to sell, right? So yeah, and even ahead of times, right? And so that you can position yourself before overall market reacts to it. So just doing that, you are already ahead of the market, guys. All right, so Seagate, unfortunately below yellow zone, definitely weakness will remain. It opens up the doors to 802 and 696 area. So we'll see. Bounce may happen. I'm not expecting much today. It may happen by the end of the day. Trump tweets comes out and something happens and things may start to bounce. But the point is that these zones that I'm telling you, these are the defining zones for the price action. So even if things have to change around, we still have to gain those zones that I provided you in these videos. Okay, then only overall picture will start to change. So any news can come. It doesn't matter as long as you know where are the price action transitioning points. Okay, so that's why you can cut out all the news noise and just do the price action. That's why this thing is so good. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. Let's take a look at a bit on Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. Nasdaq 100 a little bit in the weakness today, definitely losing yellow zone, as I said, will put us again in the multi-day weakness, unfortunately. It is doing just that. It did try to hold the first time in the morning, but then eventually it's right now giving up. Some stocks are definitely in the red today, but guys, I'm telling you, you are missing out if you are not a member. I mean, positioning that we have done last week, myself and my members, repositioning, I should say, where the money is flowing. Okay, the longer you wait to really know where the money is flowing, the longer you're just gonna keep losing those opportunities. Whatever membership costs, you would have already made that money back by now by just investing in those stocks, as I mentioned in these videos. Whatever membership costs, you could have covered that whole feast in just a day, pretty much. And that's what tools are also for. You can make your money back, whatever membership costs, in a day, just using the tools and trading using those. But anyways, decisions are yours. Okay, I'm just here to help. So that's Nasdaq 100 is a little bit in the weakness, and S&P 500. Yeah, like that's why I pointed out that whole video. Don't miss this video. I was already seeing indications of money rotations through my data. Okay, and there's so many things, so many tools we have in the back end of ours that helps us to understand where the money is flowing and all. All right, so yeah, and I already positioned my members last week that money flow is happening, money flow is changing the directions. And that's why I have been so confident in calling out the weakness in the stocks that I have been calling out this week. Okay, so S&P 500 is it's holding stronger than Nasdaq 100. It's not in the weakness. Please note, S&P 500 is held by 500 and not just the tech stocks heavy 100. This was the highlighted zone. It technically, S&P 500 is still holding the strength. It is a little bit slowing down due to some tech stocks in the red today, but it's still holding strong. Overall, not too worried on S&P 500 as long as we can hold above 744 area. Okay, so until then, not too worried on S&P 500. All right, guys, well, that's all I had for you in this video. If you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe, and with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.